Hey guys, it's Aaron, or Tiger, or however you know me. Welcome to another YouTube video. This time I'm going to talk a little about my experience about moving from Kanagawa to Tokyo, and then a little bit, just about life in Japan. But to start, got a couple things to go over. As you can see down below, I got this nice little social media banner. Please follow my Twitter, okay? My old one got banned. I don't know why it got banned. They were just like, you broke the rules, smile. And then I went, why? But they wouldn't tell me. I appealed, didn't get anything, so, what are you gonna do? I have to just deal with it. Follow my new account. I'd appreciate it a lot. Also have Blue Sky, AnyList, and then Discord. Also, if I look over here, that's because that's where OBS is. This is where my topic list is. And if I look down here, that's because, it's a work day right now, so I gotta make sure I check out I don't get any messages. I'm doing this in between meetings, so let's go. So a little bit about this video, do the whole moving thing. I'm also gonna come out with a 1 year in Japan video, which if you kind of look at the date, that's kind of like soon, like in a week is my year in Japan. That's because this video was supposed to be made like 2 months ago, and it wasn't because I was lazy. So making it now, and I will come out with a 1 year in Japan video. It probably will be like a month from now ish, because I want to like actually like put a good amount of things in there and like make it a good video. So we'll see when it comes out, but that's the next video, and it will be coming out, I promise. So this video is gonna go over my experience about moving, why I moved, my experience back at the share house where I used to live, the money side of things, the cost, how much it is to move, if I'm enjoying my place now, and I guess a little bit about the future. So let's hope I don't take forever, and let's get right into the topics. So to start, why move while only being in the country for less than a year? That's a great question, and the biggest reason was money. Okay, that's gonna come up a lot. And don't worry, if you're interested in the whole money thing, in my 1 year video, I'm going to go into my finances 100% like transparent and tell you every single number. So if you're interested in how that works and how being poor in Japan works, watch that video. You'll learn a lot. So to start, this is a 2DK, so I'm not living alone. Yeah, I'm living with my girlfriend, which most of you are like, what? You have a girlfriend? A, how? And B, what the fuck? That's fast as hell. You've been in Japan in a week, a year. How the, what? You're already living with someone? Yeah. Yeah. We'll get into that in a second. So, I met my girlfriend, and I basically was at her apartment 24/7 because it was easier and more fun to be there than at the share house, because at the share house, you gotta like, there's other people there, it's not your house even if you have your own room. So being at like an apartment that was like her apartment, and I felt like I could like kind of treat it as my own home and like not have to like I could let my guard down more. I really enjoyed that, and I was like, oh, thank God. So I was there a lot. So basically from the time we met to the time we moved, I was at the share house very rarely, and I was at her apartment almost all the time. So we weren't living together, but we were kind of like living together already. So, and I have written down here, didn't like being at the share house. Not that I didn't like the share house, I didn't like certain parts about the share house, which I'll go over in my share house experience. But I wanted my own space where I didn't have to worry about other people besides her. And because it was my girlfriend, it's like, yeah, you gotta worry about her, and like you can't like 100% be like as if you were alone, but you get a lot more wiggle room and freedom than if you're in a house full of like 20 other people that you don't really know, and all that stuff. Yeah, and I just wanted to live without having to deal with the inconvenient parts about living with a bunch of people in a shared building, which talk about right now in the Sharehouse Experience section. Oh wait, no, actually, hold on. I didn't explain this. Why did we move in so quickly? I was already over there 24/7, and even if I got my own apartment and she stayed in her apartment, we were probably going to be seeing each other a lot and going back and forth. So why spend the money to go back and forth and deal with that and have your own apartment and have to pay for that while also having to pay to go to the other place and all of this nonsense when we were already basically living together, and we knew we weren't going to break up immediately. And it's like, well, this is like really working out, and like things are going better than ever could have expected. So you know what, let's just let's take the jump and fucking move in together. We started dating in May We moved in at the end of November. So what, 5-6 months ish, which is very fast, and I would have never done this ever, ever. So like ever before this. So to me it was very different, and I'm surprised that I went through with it, because I normally I would have been super anxious and everything, but went through it, and it worked out fine so far, at least. So I'm glad we did it. So a little about the Sharehouse Experience. I had my own room, which is nice, and I had a toilet and a sink, which was great. I have written here, it was clutch. It was clutch. Without that, I would have hated the share house. I would have actually, like, if you never had to share a toilet, or have a toilet that's not outside of your room, like your direct, well, a lot of people have toilets not outside that's outside of the room, but like say outside of your apartment area or your room area, you have to go into a hallway and walk to a toilet, and all that. It's hell. You wake up in the middle of the night, you gotta piss, you're half asleep, you do not want to have to open the door, go outside, the lights are on, you're like and then you gotta walk all the way to the toilet and go. Had to deal with that a little bit in college. Not fun. Don't good. That's not English. Don't recommend it whatsoever. That sucks. So the fact that I have my own toilet really made me like not hate my life. So that was a big deal. I recommend that if you're looking for a share house or something, try to get one where you at least have your own toilet, because otherwise, like, you might think you can deal with it. Maybe you did in college, but you hit a certain point in life where you're like, I'm an adult. I'm not dealing with this. Okay. So glad I did that. It was a little more expensive to do that route, but in the end, that was for my sanity, so I had to. I didn't like having to deal with a random encounter every time I left my room. It literally felt like I was walking into the fucking tall grass in Pokemon every time I left my room. I just, like, sometimes, like, I felt like I needed to, you need to, like, dress up to be in your own place of living and be, like, semi-social for when you see someone, just in case they want to talk or something. And it's like, dude, I'm literally, like, I'm just leaving my room, and I just gotta go to the shower, or I want to throw out trash. I don't like the idea of walking outside and be like, okay, well, do I have my hoodie on right? Do I have my nice pants? Is there a stain on me? God forbid. So, like, I didn't like having to, like, worry about that. And most people would say, don't worry about it, fuck it. But, like, I worry about it. So that was a tremendous source of stress. And, like, I didn't like the whole Pokemon encounters every time I left the room. Just not for me. Next bullet point I have written is, not having your own shower is ass, and I hated having to worry about other people's schedules when I wanted to just live my life. Exactly as it says. Not having your own shower kind of sucks. You get used to it. It's fine. Like, that wasn't, like, a big deal. But having to, like, one day I had to wake up. Most of my job is fully remote, but sometimes I have to go in the office. And one day I had to go to the office, and I already have to wake up super early, so I'm already, like, not happy. Like, definitely not happy about it. And I go to the showers, and there's no showers open, and I'm like, and I plan my whole day, because, like, a very specific, like, okay, I shower this time, get out at this time, so that I can get on the train, and I'll make it there on time and all this. And I'm like, well, this is going to screw up my entire schedule, because now I got to wait. So I had to wait for someone to get out of the shower so I can go into the shower. And just small shit like that really, like, is like, oh my god, dude, I don't want to deal with this. There's also a thing with that shower where there was no, like, there was, like, no air conditioning in that shower area or anything. So when it was the summer, it was hot. So you'd get out of the shower and you'd wipe your body, but, like, because it's, like, hot and, like, musky, like, the water is, like, you're getting a little bit dry, but you're not dry. So you feel like everything's, like, still, like, there's, like, a layer of, like, wet, it feels like. So you go to put on a shirt and it's sticking to you, and it's like, oh my god, I want to actually, like, jump off a bridge right now. Like, it was hell. Whereas at her apartment, it was, like, cooler, and I could get out of the shower, and then my body would literally, like, wipe down, and I'd be like, I don't feel excess water on me. Oh my god. So, like, that was a game changer. And, like, having to deal with that in the summer months made me, like, first of all, summer here sucks. I'll go over that in the 1 year video. Summer sucks. But that made summer 10 times worse, because even if I wasn't going outside, just going to the shower was, like, actually not fun, because I hated the feeling of putting on my clothes afterwards. Because no matter how much you dry off, you still got the excess, like, I don't know, water. I don't know how to explain it. I can't think of the correct words, but I'm sure everyone understands what I mean. That was hell. And then the final thing about the share house experience, during college, I lived with roommates throughout all 4 years. So I was ready / am ready to live without the whole living with other people experience. Oh, idiot, you're living with someone right now. Yeah, but like, shut up. Different. Okay, come on. First 2 years of college, lived with a roommate in a dorm. There was a dorm room, and there was one room, and then another room, and then a shared like little bathroom area with a toilet and a shower. I lived with someone in this room. 2 other people lived in the other room. The other 2 people, you don't really interact all the time, so it's not a big of a deal. But I lived directly with someone across from me for 2 years. And then for the final 2 years of college, moved into a house with 2 other people. And I had my own room, shower, toilet, and all that. Fine. But like, at least personally, I always like really liked the idea of living alone and wanted to live alone and was super excited about it. So when I came here originally for that the 3-month internship, and I was living in like an apartment by myself for 3 months, I was opened up to the world of not living with people, and I was so happy, and I was like, this is fucking awesome. There's just something about like not having to worry about a single other person besides yourself, and doing what you want, when you want, how you want, and all that. Why do I have this in? I don't even need this. I just realized. But yeah, not for me. Well, not that it's not for me. I was just over it. It's like, okay, we've been there, done that. Let's move on. So yeah, was ready to live on my own / I'm living with my girlfriend. We're very close already, even though it's been 9 months. Like, shit's moving fast, but we're very close and very open about a lot of things. So I don't really feel like I have to put up a guard whatsoever or like fix myself. Nice, dude. My meeting just got canceled. Whoa. Yeah, I don't feel like I have to move, like put up a guard or like worry too much. Like, some people are like, even around like significant others, they're like you gotta tiptoe. I don't gotta tiptoe. I can literally do whatever, say whatever. It doesn't matter. So it feels like like there's someone here, but I never feel like I'm living with someone. It's more like I'm just living life and someone's there, and it's awesome. I don't feel like suffocated like how I would in like a roommate situation. That goes over the share house experience. By the way, I'm probably going to forget a bunch of things in this video, and if I did, I'm going to be annoyed that I forgot. But whatever. If you have any questions or anything, should have said this at the beginning. Ask in the comments. Ask on Discord. Ask on Discord. Or ask on Twitter, or, well, Blue Sky or Twitter. I'll try to get back to you in a good amount of time. So, yeah, that's the share house experience. So the next is experience finding an apartment / getting an apartment. This might be a longer section. I wanted to keep this video semi-short, but I'm already 14 minutes in, and I realize I'm unable to watch. I'm unable to make shorter videos, I guess, because I watched some YouTube videos and they're like 30 minutes, and I'm like, that's a good length. I could do that. And then I start talking, and like I'm like, shit, I haven't done anything yet. So we're trying to finish this in an okay amount of time. So experience finding an apartment / getting an apartment. To start, my experience is not forever, is same as everyone's gonna be, because while I'm a foreigner, and there's some things with that, and I'll go over that. I had a Japanese person with me, not just helping me get the apartment, but they were going to live here. So it was kind of like, yeah, I get to kind of just like slither around, and like it's pretty easy to deal with all the apartment stuff. So keep that in mind when you're listening to my experience. Probably going to be different for someone who doesn't have that luxury. So as I said, as I just said, I had a very easy experience, and that's mainly because I had a Japanese girlfriend to help. Some of her family friends came with us to the real estate office and talked to the realtor with us, and so that made that experience way less scary. I think if they weren't there, I wouldn't really have any idea what to ask. And that's not just Japanese. Like in English, I'd probably be like, I don't know, dog. Like, is it haunted? Like, I don't know. I don't know what I would ask. So having them there was very helpful. to like ask questions, and then it's like, oh, okay, and then we get to learn about the stuff without having to ask the questions ourselves, because like some things like the build year matters in Japan, because if it's after a certain date, it's the newer earthquake code and all that. So the build year matters, but I don't even think I knew the word for the build year. Now I do, but even if I did know, I wouldn't have asked. It's like, I'm a very bad person with asking questions, because someone's like, you have any questions? And I either have questions and I'm scared and I don't ask them, or I wish I had questions but nothing comes to my brain right now, or I legitimately have no questions and they question why I have no questions. So it's very it's hard for me to ask questions. Hopefully you don't hear that. Someone's dying outside. So the questions thing, I'm glad someone else was doing that and I could just listen to the answers and then make decisions based on that. I'm just not good with questions. It's just not for me. So it probably went smoother than it could go for other people. Plus, speaking Japanese did help. Kinda. I say kinda because there was some I don't know. Let me see if I talk about it. Yeah, I do talk about it a little bit. There was some fuckery in. Oh, you're. Are you Japanese? No? Okay, well, yeah, that's gonna change some things. So there was some of that, but overall, I could talk to the realtor in Japanese and all that stuff, and was no problem. And so it didn't make it. There wasn't we gotta accommodate this dude for English the whole time. So that probably made everyone's lives easier, even if it didn't necessarily make finding an apartment easier, I guess. I don't know. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we went with a 2DK. There's one room for me, one room for her. There's a dining area, and the kitchen, and it's way bigger than we expected. We have like a little kitchen. It's so cute. We have a little kitchen table in there, two chairs, and we got that. We weren't gonna get a dining table, and then we were like, okay, we'll get one. We got one, and now that everything is clean out there and there's no boxes for move-in, which took a long time to actually just get rid of everything and get everything unpacked. It's giant. The space is huge. Like, it's more than we really need. So that's like really cool. So sub point to this, because I know a lot of people are gonna be like, wait, so you moved in with your girlfriend and you have one room for you and one room for her? You don't sleep together? What are you guys even dating? Also, hold on, it's a little hot. We gotta turn this down. I put on the heat for this. Normally I don't have it on, but I'm not talking in front of the camera at my desk for God knows how long without heat or otherwise, because I'll be like, it's cold today, guys. So I'll address that point now. I'm a monster. We'll start with that. You know that. If you know me, you know that. Like, there's not really much debating. I'm a monster in various ways. So without like a giant bed, I can't sleep with someone else. Because like I twist and turn. Not even just twisting and turning. Like I'll flip upside down in the middle of the night or something. There's no. So then they lose space. That was an issue. I don't know if it's an issue, but a little. We had that when I was at her apartment. There was only one bed. We ended up. The bed was a single bed, or is it a double? No, single bed in Japan, and space for two people, but not a lot of wiggle room. So I would like almost push her off the bed at night, and that didn't work out very well. So we ended up moving the mattress onto the ground next to the bed, and then the bed like put like blankets and like futon on it to like make it comfy enough to sleep on like the bed frame, and just the bed frame. So someone would sleep on the mattress, someone would sleep on the bed frame, and that's what we did at our apartment, so that like we can have our own like space and like not have to worry about the other person, and that worked out fine. So that's kind of why this happened. So this was the best decision for us, the way we have our beds laid out. As you can see, my bed's right here. Those doors, her room is right there. So you open up half of that door, and her bed is right next to the door on the other side. So like, we're not sleeping next to each other, like in the same bed, but she's right there. I'm right here. Say goodnight. It's easy. We don't really close the door unless there's a reason. Like, I have a work meeting. Like right now, we're fighting, which doesn't happen often, thankfully. But like, you don't the door doesn't get closed very often. But so she's right there, I'm right here. It's not that big of a deal. We're just not in the exact same bed. We already talked about when we move into a bigger place, we'll just get a big bed. But right now that wasn't really an option because of money and, you know, a lot of other things. Yeah, so there's no stress with dealing with the space in the bed / worrying about disturbing someone else during the night. That's another thing. I like to stay up late, and so you'll know me that sometimes my sleep schedule is destroyed. Like, there was a 2-week period for the last 2 weeks where I was basically up. I would sleep during the day and then wake up at night and then be up the whole night / into the afternoon and then fall asleep, and then, you know, that cycle. So the fact that, like, we have our own beds, I can do whatever I want in my bed, watch YouTube, do whatever the whole night while she's asleep next to me in her bed, and I don't have to worry about like getting up to go to the bathroom or like getting up to do something or moving, and then like it wakes her up, because that's like that's annoying. You don't want to deal with that. So we decided on an area that we wanted, and then all we did was this is a little bit like jumbled, this section, so I'm very sorry, but hopefully there's a flow and I get into it. So once we figured out that we wanted the 2DK and why, for those reasons I just mentioned, we decided an area we wanted, and then we just looked at places on Sumo. Spoiler alert, the area we originally looked, we're not living there, but that's what we did to find apartments. Found a couple places we liked, and then we on Sumo you can see what real estate office, what company is like handles those apartments, and then we went to those offices and we talked to them about it to get the rundown. So we had multiple places. It was hard to find multiple places within our budget. This is the big thing when you're poor. You don't have a lot of money, so the budget that's the definition. So budget was 70,000 yen, upwards of 75k. So one that fit that budget and one that will deal with foreigners. The budget was way more of an issue than the foreigner thing. There were probably 2 or 3 nice places that just because I was a foreigner, the real estate office dude was like, yeah, the landlord is like, no foreigners. Like, there wasn't even like a talk to me or like a knowing, like, this is going to sound bad, but everyone will agree. Japan is very more favoring of certain foreigners than other foreigners, so there wasn't even where is he from, what does he look like, there wasn't any of that. Can he speak Japanese? There was nothing. It was just like, oh, foreigner, no, sorry. So we lost a couple places because of that, but that wasn't the big deal. The big deal was the budget, and the reason we went for a lower budget is just because personally this was like a me thing really, but like in case, for example, she couldn't work, I wanted to make sure that I could cover the entire rent and the utilities and everything by myself until like she's back in order, or the same thing vice versa, that one person could take over everything for a month, 2 months, 3 months, however, and it wouldn't be impossible to live there, just in case someone lost money and then you can't go halfsies on rent. Can't go half on rent, and someone needs to pay it all for X amount of time. So that's why we went with cheaper. We could have went for a more expensive place because we're going half on everything. But that was one of the stipulations. And then also I wanted the total price to be less than the share house, so that like I was saving more money on rent, because the share house was 73,000 yen a month, and I'll go over these numbers in a bit. Share house was 73,000, and that eats up a lot of my monthly budget, so I wanted it lower than that total. So the places we originally looked, after we decided on the area, went to the real estate office, talked to them, went and looked at a couple of apartments, not inside, just the area, and they were far from the nearest station. Like 20-minute walk, which for me isn't that bad. For her, she doesn't want to walk that. She gets tired easily, so like walking that far, not gonna happen consistently. So, and in the summer that would be hell. So while the places looked fine and like the surrounding area was like kind of nice, there wasn't much around. It was more of like just houses and stuff. There was like one supermarket and a 7-Eleven, and that was really it for like things around. So it was kind of like you gotta walk a while. So that original place did not end up living there. I guess I could say it. It was Hachioji. I think it was Nishi Hachioji. I forget west or east, but that's like the area we were gonna live, and it was just too far away from the station and it was just. So we were like, nah. Then her family friend suggested another area, which we're actually living now, so I'm not gonna say the name of it, but suggested another area. And me and her both, like, we didn't say it out loud, but after the fact we learned that we were both thinking it. We're like, oh man, never heard of that place. Sounds like Inaka. It's like we're not like, ugh. Like that's how it felt. So, but we went and we looked, and turns out it's fucking awesome. Like near the station, there's like a shopping mall. There's like places everywhere, and it was just like, man, this is really cool. Went and talked to the real estate office there, leasing office. I don't know. I keep saying real estate. That might be the wrong term. Whatever. Talked to them. Got the rundown on some apartments. Found one that they were willing to rent to us because it was owned by the actual company itself, not like a third party landlord. So there was no problem with the foreigners and all that. So found they were like, this one could be good. They were also given free rent for a month, and you could tell that they were trying to get someone to get this. So with that in our hands, we go home and we kind of talk it over. We're like, do you want to look at this place? Do you want to talk to more offices? And the consensus we came to was our budget, like everywhere we went, the properties were like 5 at most. Like we went to a couple of offices. Both times it was like 4 or 5 properties that were available, and then from that, some of them would be foreigner no's. So it would go down to like 3 properties that are like actually available, and like within our budget and everything. So it was kind of like, okay, we could go to another place, but there's no guarantee we get anything better than this apartment that we are looking at on the paper and looks really nice. So we decided to set up an appointment to actually go and see the apartment in person, and that's this one. And we really liked it. She was a little more anxious, but she was anxious about the whole moving experience. I was like gung-ho. I was like, let's go. Like, this looks great. But really liked it. I like how the street is that way, whereas at her apartment, the street was to the window to where the bed was, right next to the bed. The window was the street. The street was there. So at night it was loud. People with their stupid ass bikes going at 3 a.m, loud as hell. That was frustrating. So it was hard to sleep sometimes. So having the street away from the bedrooms and not having to deal with noise was really nice. The sun comes through my window, like we're literally living on the sun, so I know summer is gonna be ass. But that's nice at least, because that's where the laundry pole is to hang up laundry and stuff. So that was cool. The layout's really nice. If the room was a little bit bigger, it'd be nice, because there's not much room between my bed and my chair right now. But if the room was a little bit bigger, that'd be perfect. But other than that, it was really good. So we were like, okay, we really like this place. So like we're walking around afterwards, and it's like, do we do it? And we were like, yeah, let's do it. And then we went to the office, signed all the papers and everything, and it was like, okay, whatever, this time next month you'll be able to move in. So between us actually talking to the real estate office and moving in was like a month, but the decision was like, it was within a week. We went to the real estate office on like a Saturday. The next week on Saturday, we went to actually tour the place. So it was very quick, and I don't necessarily recommend going quick. It worked out, and I'll go more into that now. But you might want to take more time, and it might be a good thing to take more time. But as I mentioned with the budget thing, no matter how much time we took, if I don't think things would have changed. It would have been even worse if we waited longer, and then it got closer to when everyone moves in, and then there's less apartments and everything. So it's like, let's just do this, and it worked out in the end. But that was like the whole experience, finding the place. Probably missing something. I apologize. But that was like the experience of finding the apartment and actually getting it. No big hoops. The biggest hoop was we were going to put me as like the person who was like on the contract. But just because you're a foreigner, the guarantor company money goes up. And that's just like, do we really want to just like have the money go up just because? So she ended up being on the contract and not me. But yeah, like, so that's something you got to be aware of. Some places will just say no. If you need a guarantor company, they're going to most likely jack up the price a bit if you're not Japanese. So if you're living with someone Japanese, just have them be on the contract, and it makes life way easier with that. Next, we are going to go on the finances. If you want a bigger financial breakdown, and when I mean bigger, I mean everything, like how much money I spend a month on this, how much I'm saving a month, how much I want to save a month, what I want my plans with my finances are, how can you save money when you make no money, all of that, I will go over the expenses and my budget in my 1 year Japan video once that's out. So if you care about money or you're interested in moving to Japan, and you're like comparing like job offers or something, or how much salary do you need to live in X place or whatever, watch that video. I will go over it. Spoiler, I don't make a lot of money. You can make a lot more money than me, and you probably should, but I'm still able to live an okay life and save and do whatever. But that's because I put my head to the fucking grindstone and I do it. So if you're not like that, might have some trouble, and you'll see when you see those full numbers. So to start, I'm gonna actually go on paint.net, and I'm gonna go over this for you guys, and so hopefully this works out. Whoa! So this is Paint. So to start, we have the Sharehouse. So I'm gonna just Sharehouse. So for the Sharehouse, it was for the rent, the utilities, so gas, water, electric, all of that, and the internet. It was 73,000 yen a month. Okay? Now, for the apartment. I hate typing. I hate drawing with my mouse, so we're gonna just put apart. For the apartment, I'm instead of writing out rent, I'll say it and I'll write the number. Okay. The rent, when you split it in half, is about 39,000 yen. Let me just do this. The electric is about 2,500. The gas, it's propane gas. We wanted city gas because propane is more expensive, but apparently in this area, propane is basically the only option, and we found out the place that is right next to us, they have city gas. So I feel lied to, but because of our budget, he was like, you kind of only got to get propane. There's like no city gas for your budget, so sorry. And I was like, okay. So gas is also about 2,500. Electric, we have not used the heater that much, so relatively low compared to what it could be if you're blasting the heater all the time. We do not. It's only when it's really cold, or if I'm at my desk for a long period, because the floor area gets cold and I get cold out here. But a lot of times I'm in bed, she's in bed, and we're just with the blankets on. That's why I'm always wearing a hoodie. I always have nice sweatpants on. I have longer socks on all the time so that I don't die. Water is about 1,000 yen. Now the thing is, we haven't got a bill for a full month yet, so this is a guess off of the initial half a month bill that came. The water bill comes every 2 months. I hate that. Don't even ask me. Don't even get me started. It's stupid. I don't like it. So we'll say 1,000. Might be more, but yes. Internet is about 2,500 a month. So the total comes out to about $47,500. Dollars, no, yen. So if you compare that to the share house, it comes out to about 25,500 yen of savings. Woo! So that is awesome, and that's what I'm really, really happy about. So it's awesome for me. So cheaper than the share house, and when you include the freedom I get, the location is really nice. We're about 10 minutes away from the station where that mall is and where everything is, so that it's very easy to go and do things and get things. There's no like long walk. It's awesome. Distance from an awesome grocery store. I'm Gyomusupa gang. Gyomusupa, Gyomusupa. Gyomusupa, Gyomusupa. Way to go. Please, if you haven't been there, go. It's awesome. When you're weird like me, which I'll probably go over in my year-long video, and you'll understand more. If you've met me, you probably know. But if you're weird like me, Gyomusupa, way to go. Even if you're not weird, Gyomusupa, hype. So I'm saving more on groceries as well. And being able to live with my girlfriend, who I love, oh my god. It feels like I'm saving a lot more money than 25K. And I am, because rent and the groceries and all that. So I am saving more than 25K. But overall, the experience as well is very... It's just great. So it feels a lot more enriching because of that. So that's the amount of money for the month. So about 50,000 yen a month. So pretty good. Now let's go over the initial cost of the apartment. We're gonna undo. Sorry, 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, undo. Sorry, 1 second. 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 So when you get an apartment in Japan, there's a bunch of initial costs. You got to pay X amount of months of rent. There's sometimes key money, which is basically, I love you, landlord. Thank you for renting to me. I give you free money. It's stupid. It's not a deposit. Don't get me started. There's also deposits sometimes, and it's a whole thing. We didn't have to worry about that. So no. Siri just asked me if I'm talking about Henry Hoffman. First of all, don't know who Henry Hoffman is, and no, I'm not. So back to this. Here's the amount of money we had to pay up front to actually get the place. I'm not gonna write out everything, just the numbers, because writing with a mouse sucks. So the first month of rent was free, which was hype. So the rent that we paid at the start, instead of it being like X amount of months, it was like half of 1 month and then a full month instead of 2 full months. So, So the amount for the rent and the agency fee that we paid was 80,300 yen. Had to pay for bug extermination, and also all these. We tried to get out of some of them, and we could not, so we had to pay all of it. Bug extermination was 16,500 yen. That doesn't mean that there was bugs. It's just they did a cleaning with exterminator, all that. For the guarantor company fee, we had to pay upfront of 26,712, plus there is a monthly thing that is included in rent every month of 2,746. Notes are now over here, by the way, if you couldn't figure that out. Had to pay a cleaning fee of 16,500. Nice 5. Had to pay for a fire extinguisher, like the shit inside the fire extinguisher. I don't know. I couldn't figure out what this is, and I forgot to ask her. So, but that was 12,100 yen. Another one, which this sounds bad, but I don't know what it is. I may have known at the time, but I do not know what it is now. Maybe the auto lock, like maybe the lock on the apartment, because it's a fancy ass lock where you put in a key code and shit. But I don't know what this was. 14,300 yen. I had to pay for a disaster kit, which is kind of nice. Wanted to buy one anyway, but they sent one. It's in the backpack. It has all the stuff in it. 12,000 yen. 24/7 agency support, which I don't care. I probably might need it one day, but it's annoying. 2,640 yen. So all of that combined, we had to pay 224,478 yen to move in. Not crazy, but the rent's 70,000, like base 70 something thousand base. So expect about triple what the rent is. If you're gonna move, I'd say have in savings triple to quadruple the rent so that you can pay the upfront fees. If you have that, you should be good, unless our situation was just completely different. But yeah, triple to quadruple the amount of rent. So that goes over all of the money. Woo! Okay, back to this. Hey! So let me put my notes back here. We're getting close. We're almost done. How am I enjoying the new place? As you can tell by this whole video and the way I was talking, it's great. It's awesome to live with my girlfriend, which, as I mentioned earlier, I was nervous about because I never lived with a significant other before, and it was very fast compared to how I normally would plan or the timeline I would imagine doing things. But I'm having a great time, and it's nice to not be alone every day and have someone to talk to, even if it's the same person all the time. And I'll go more into the loneliness and all of that stuff in the 1 year video. A lot of themes from this video. If you want to learn more, 1 year video, I'm going to go in depth. It's probably going to be stupid long, and I apologize. Location for me is really good. As I mentioned, you can get the station in 10 minutes. The shopping mall can get anything you want. If you want to go to a bigger city area, this is not like a bigger city, but if you want to go to one, there's one very close, and it's very easy to get on the train and go to like Shibuya, Shinjuku, Tokyo station. It's very easy. So awesome. The only downside is being far from the center of Tokyo where everyone is. So like if I want to go to Shibuya, it's not like annoying, like I can get there, but it's certainly not a one train 15, 20, 30 minute experience. It's a little more than that, which I'm okay with. But if I was going to meet people like that all the time, I think it would get annoying. But because I'm poor, I don't. So I just be poor, guys. It fixes all your problems, but it creates a lot more. As I mentioned, I'll go over that in the next one. It's not as bad as it seems. It's bad, but I'm doing pretty good, I think, compared to how some people would handle it. But yeah, that's the only downside. As it says in my notes, thankfully I don't go out too much at the moment, so it's not the end of the world. But I can tell once I have more money / friends, I'll want to be closer to where everyone is, so because it'll just be like annoying. But that's the only real downside. Other than that, we haven't had any. We talk about it every now and then. It's like, do you have any like things you don't like? And we can't really think of anything. Everything that comes up is just like small things. Like the apartment gets pretty cold. The bathroom area gets cold. There's no like heater thing in there to keep the bathroom like not bathroom. The toilet. The shower area gets like really cold. So there's nothing to like keep that warm. So you get out of the shower and you're like in the winter. But from what I'm aware, a lot of that is like that's normal in a lot of Japan. It's gonna be just cold in the winter in your apartment, and you can't really deal with it. So wear layers, and I'm okay with that. Summer, I'm putting the air conditioning on 24/7 because I think I'd rather die. I'd rather pay the money than die. But we haven't. There's just nothing that comes up as like, oh, we don't like this, which I think is really good, and it's nice. So we plan on being here. The lease is 2 years, so at least 2 years. After the 2 years, we'll figure it out. But before that, we definitely don't want to move because this moving experience, it wasn't bad. It was just like, it's just tiring and like it's stressful, and you just you just want it done. Even if you have movers, move everything. We didn't have movers. I moved everything. Me and her moved my stuff from the share house to here by train. So yes, we literally had to take my chair wheels on the train, the chair back. I brought a small bookcase on the train. I have a picture. I might put that on Twitter one day. But yeah, that was a whole thing. So like all of that is just like stressful, not fun, don't want to deal with it. So that's probably the worst part. So we don't really want to move quickly, but after 2 years, hopefully things have changed in terms of money. They should, and might move like closer to like inner Tokyo a little bit more. We're still in Tokyo right now. It's just not the, is it 23? I forget how many wards. The main 23 wards. It's not in there. It's outside of it. So it's like you're not living in Tokyo. No, we are. Okay, it's Tokyo to. Okay, it's just not the big area that everyone like associates with Tokyo. But might move closer after this is ending, and you know, it's all like based on money things. But I'm okay with where we're at now. She is too. Things could change, but for right now, things are going well, and there's not much to complain about, and everything we want, we have. So I'd say things worked out. It was a very, not a rash decision, but a very quick one with a lot of, you have to believe it's going to work out. But I'm glad we did what we did and took the route we did instead of waiting. We were going to wait till February to move, but I'm glad we did it way earlier. So, yeah, it's just, I'm great. I'm very happy. It's improved my life a lot, and I'm super like happy with it, and it's just great. I can't say if I kept talking, that's all I would say over and over again. So that's basically all I have to talk about. So, in conclusion, once again, follow my new Twitter. Where is it? There. Please follow it. Follow my Blue Sky. I'm basically gonna repost Twitter stuff, but sometimes I don't post it on Blue Sky because I don't use the app that much. Honestly, I can't get into the habit. So if you want like the most updates, it's gonna be on Twitter again. So follow my new Twitter, please. AniList if you want to check out what manga, anime, light novels I'm reading as I read them. And then my Discord if you want to send me a DM, which I will get back to eventually. I'm bad at answering DMs, but I'm trying to get better a little bit, slightly. So we'll see how that goes. Be on the lookout for my 1 year in Japan video. It'll be longer than this one, even though this was long and longer than what I expected. That one will be long and will go in depth into a lot of things. So it might take me a month and a half to get it, and it'll be over a year in Japan. But that's because I want to make that a good video and really pack it full with a lot of information and get a good amount of stuff out there, so people who are interested in moving here, or maybe you're already living here, maybe you can learn something new. I just want to be able to give like a raw experience of moving here, and maybe not the best situation compared to some people. Some people come here on nice expat packages and they don't have to worry about shit. I didn't, so I'm gonna give you some real life. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. If I left out anything that you think is important and you would like to know, leave a comment. Probably this is what I've been doing a lot of my other videos is first like 2 weeks I respond to every comment, but then eventually I get fatigued and I just like I read every comment. I may not respond to it, but if you have a question specifically, I'll try to make sure I respond to that. So leave a comment, send me a DM on Twitter, @ me on Twitter, or Blue Sky, or Discord. Send me a message or post, tweet, whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was long, so if you made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate it. Did not expect for this to be long. I'm sorry, but thank you so much. It's really cool that you're here. Let me know if you enjoyed the video, and if you want more videos like this. I'm very lazy and dumb and bad when it comes to making YouTube videos, but I do enjoy making them, and I do like putting the information out there. So if there's anything that you want me to specifically make a video about living in Japan, probably after my 1 year video, if there's something you want me to go more in depth on in like its own video, let me know. I'm always down. That's basically it. So I'll see you guys in my next video, and don't worry, there will also be a Japanese update later on in the year when we hit 5 years. Woo! But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day, and I hope everyone's getting good at Japanese or not, or whatever language you're studying. Or if you just came across this for no reason, I just hope you have a good day. See you guys. I don't know what this was. It was like a half salute. I don't know. Goodbye.